Hello again, footy fans. Well, despite all the emails and the tweets, we've decided to go once again with our man Brett Kimmorley after an abysmal performance in round 5 of the NRL. 3 out of 8. Laurie Daly got 3 out of 8, so there's a common theme there. The New South Wales boys can't get more than 3.
Well, we might get Origin wrong and we can't get our tips right, but 26 out of the 40 games this year have been won by outsiders.
I know, thankfully a couple of them.
You try and put football knowledge into it, throw that out the window.
Throw it out the window. And you know what? I think you've got to continue to throw it out the window until such time as the good teams show a bit of consistency.
I put my tips into you on Monday. I didn't care who was selected, who was injured, who was out. I thought I'd just go with gut feeling of who should win.
Well, who's your gut feel in the opening game on Friday night between Penrith and Souths? Both been in reasonable form, particularly Souths last week.
Yeah, Souths bounced back to their strength. And I think John Sutton playing 5'8" just got the balance of the football team correct again. It gives you an extra forward to go forward. And South Sydney's strengths are their power. Just run through sides, score some points with a nice Greg Inglis chiming in at the back line. So Penrith won. Jamie Soward's kicking game, but they're not overly exciting. I think Souths will win.
See, I think Penrith will win. Gold Coast Titans take on Brisbane in the rugby league version of the Q Clash at Seabus Super Stadium. Titans on top of the ladder.
Yeah, little brother, he's beating big brother. If they can't get a full house this Friday night, there's no fans on the Gold Coast.
They're not going to get a full house. They'll get 5,000.
It's the best game. They're leading the competition. They're playing Brisbane. They've got to come down the road. Titans are a scrappy side. They make most errors in the competition, all that. But Albert Kelly's individual form has been absolutely brilliant. I think Brisbane will win this football game. I think Brisbane will bring the Titans back to earth.
Okay, I'm going against him in both. Canberra take on Newcastle at GIO Stadium on Saturday afternoon.
Yeah, Canberra disappointing last week, but they are at home. Newcastle looked emotionally exhausted going to Townsville. They've now got to come back to Newcastle. They'll travel Friday to Canberra. I would just be the fact that it's home game in Canberra victory.
Hard to argue with that one. Parramatta take on the Sydney Roosters. The Mighty Eels did a wonderful thing. First time they've won away in 2.5 years last week. Nathan Berry, the jockey, they played for him and they won. It was a fantastic result.
Great result. Brad Arthur obviously showing that he is a first-grade coach. The structure Parramatta play with is brilliant. You know, they obviously got a lesson in round 2. It was a flogging, but there was no Nathan Peets. He'll make them better, but I think the Roosters will be too good. They'll bounce back from a loss. Okay,
West Tigers were fantastic against Manly. Cowboys were pretty good on Monday night, but we all knew that Newcastle might have been a bit exhausted emotionally. They take on each other at Kimmorley Town.
Yeah, Tigers have been very good. I think Tedesco's out is a massive out, and Cowboys are starting to show something. There's something there. I would just be expecting the Cowboys to scrape home to victory.
For those who don't know, Campbell Town is French for Campbelltown. Warriors, no more with their coach Matt Elliott. Now, you tipped that in about round 3. You said that he would be not long for the Warriors job. They take on an informed Bulldogs at Eden Park.
Yeah, that's right. And normally there's a bounce back effect when a coach is sacked, but it normally happens in week 2. So I'm going to say the Bulldogs will win this clash. It's got to be hard times for the Warriors, and for a coach gets a chance to show himself. Tough initiation here and against the Bulldogs. Bulldogs to win.
Cronulla got on the board last week. Manly disappointing. Can they bounce back?
You would expect. I tipped them as the best side in the competition last week. I cursed them.
There's dramas.
The Glenn Stewart dramas there enormous. Jeff Robson was good for the Sharks last week. They will play for the Steve Rogers Cup. I think Manly will win at home.
Yeah, a bit of story saying that one particular player stayed off the drink at the Sharks. They win. If he stays off again, they win. If he doesn't, they're back on the losing train. Melbourne taking on the Dragons in a good game of Monday night football.
Melbourne are off, aren't they? They've been off all year. You know, a couple of lucky victories. Dragons sort of got a football lesson last week.
Yeah.
Back to earth. It's about bouncing back. I would expect Melbourne in Melbourne. I know that we say they don't lose 2. They don't lose 3 in a row. They'll bounce back.
Okay, well, let's have a look at Noddy's tips on screen. Rabbitohs and Broncos on Friday night. The Raiders, Roosters and the Cowboys on Saturday. Bulldogs and Seagulls in the Sunday games. Manly to bounce back. And then the Storm to stop their losing streak on Monday. Best bet of the weekend?
I think the Storm were the best bet of the weekend.
Penrith, Friday night for me. And remember where you heard it first.
Expert me.